Welcome back, everyone, to Let's Play The Last of Us. And in the last episode, we had seen this going on, and Joel escaping with Sarah, carrying her because she had broken her leg during the car crash. And they go up here and they encounter one of the soldiers that's moved in to try and quell whatever this thing is that's going on here. And well, things didn't exactly work out as planned, and I'll show it to you again here while I keep quiet.
It's okay, baby. We're safe. We're safe. Hey, we need help. Stop! Please. It's my daughter. I think her leg is broken.
Stop right there!
Okay. We're not sick.
Got a couple of civilians in the outer perimeter. Please advise.
Daddy, what about Uncle Tommy?
We're gonna get you to safety and go back for him, okay?
Sir, there's a little girl. But... Yes, sir.
Somebody, we've just been through hell. Okay, we just need... Oh, shit. Please don't. Oh, no. Sarah. Move your hands, babe. I know, baby, I know. Listen to me, I know this hurts, baby. You're gonna be okay, baby. Stay with me. All right, I'm gonna pick you up. I know, baby, I know it hurts. Come on, baby, please. I know, baby, I know. Sarah. Baby. Don't do this to me, baby. Don't do this to me, baby. Come on. No. No. No, no. Please. Please.
And there we have it. That is the introduction, pretty much, to the game The Last of Us. Now, I have to say that was actually a pretty important thing that they showed. And a lot of people would kind of have a negative reaction to that kind of thing. Because there's a lot of
the number of
things.
confirmed
People will
deaths
go
has passed
and
200. The
watch
governor has called a state of
a
emergency.
movie where there's gun violence or bombs exploding all over the place and that kind of stuff. But a lot of people, and understandably, I think, react quite negatively to watching the death of a child.
With the bureaucrats out of
Sarah
power, we
got
can
shot
finally
and
take the necessary steps.
pretty much
Los
died on
Angeles is now the
camera,
latest city to be placed under martial law. All residents are required to report to their designated quarantine. Riots have continued for a third consecutive day, and winter rations are at an all-time low.
A group calling themselves the Fireflies have claimed responsibility for both attacks.
Their public charter calls for the return of all branches of government.
Demonstrations broke out following the execution of 6 more alleged Fireflies.
When you really think about it, it doesn't make any kind of sense that a person reacts something like this.
Remember when you're lost in the darkness?
Not another way.
Look for the light.
I guess it's just something.
Believe in the Fireflies.
But this was an important thing to show that this child died, and it has a very big effect on the life of Joel. Now here we are 20 years later after the infection, 20 years later after his daughter had died, and that event weighed heavily on him, and has a lot to do with the way he turned out as a person.
I'm coming.
How was your morning? Want one?
No, I don't want one.
Well, I have some interesting news for you.
Where were you, Tess?
West End District. Hey, we had a drop to make.
We had a drop to make.
Well, you wanted to be left alone, remember?
So I'll take one guess. The whole deal went south and the client made off with our pills. Is that about right?
Deal went off without a hitch. Enough ration cards to last us a couple of months, easy.
You want to explain this?
I was on my way back here, and I got jumped by these 2 assholes, all right? And yeah, they got a few good hits in, but... Look, I managed.
Give me that. Dad. Are these assholes still with us?
That's funny.
At least find out who they were.
Yeah, look, they were a couple of nobodies. They don't matter. What matters is that Robert fucking sent them.
Our Robert.
He knows that we're after him. He figures he's gonna get us first.
Son of a bitch, he's smart.
No. He's not smart enough. I know where he's hiding.
Like hell you do.
Old warehouse in Area 5. Can't say for how long, though.
Well, I'm ready now, yeah?
Oh, I can do now. Checkpoint's still open.
Only got a few hours left until curfew.
Well, we better hurry up then.
Stepping out into the streets, you get a chance to see what life is like 20 years after the outbreak.
Work duty.
Oh, that's such crap. Soldiers are supposed to handle the outside.
I'll make sure to tell them that. What about you, Joel? You been summoned for this bullshit yet?
Nope.
Yeah, I bet.
And humanity is not really in the best shape it's ever been. People are jammed into these ghettos here with there's garbage everywhere. You're about to see a rather strict totalitarian police force. The military has become sort of keeping people under their thumb. And you can see the reason why this happened. They gotta keep the infection under control. They gotta keep people safe, even if it means suppressing them. But it's definitely not a pleasant thing.
Ration line hasn't opened yet. Must be running low again.
Ration distribution center.
I hear it's another half ration. Are you fucking kidding me? That's 3 weeks in a row now.
Well, what are you gonna do?
This is such fucking bullshit. I bet those uniforms over there, they don't get half rations.
Keep your voice down. What's wrong with you?
Whatever, I don't even care anymore. Let them take me.
Just be quiet.
Go. Down on the ground.
Okay, Jesus.
Then get down.
Anything wrong? No!
Hands on your fucking head. Do it. Alright, scan it. Get a live one.
No. I'm not infected.
Hold her down. Do it. Eyes forward. Alright. She's down.
This.
Holy shit. Shut up. Consider yourself lucky. What happens when you hide out in a condemned building? Call the cleanup crew. We're through here. Gonna need 2 bags and 2 more for the box.
Seems like more people are getting infected.
That just means more people are sneaking.
You can see the wall of the city there, and the wall was constructed to keep the infected people out. But it has been rather unsuccessful in containing the infection, keeping it out of the cities. As you can just see, some people died because they got infected. And that's, as much as they may try to keep people safe by keeping them under the thumb, it doesn't work. Or at least it hasn't been working, and life has deteriorated rather significantly. Here's the checkpoint they're going to try and get through.
See you later. Good to go. What's your business here? Got the day off. Visiting a friend. All right, we'll run through. Thanks.
Get out of here! Go! Close it up! Firefly! Fucking shoot him!
Come on, let's go, come on.
All civilians must clear the surrounding area immediately.
Looks like the coast is clear. Come on.
Attention. Checkpoint 5 is now closed until further notice. All civilians must clear the...
So much for the easy route. Patch yourself up, all right?
He got hurt during that attack, and now he has get
They're gonna
diffuser
close
first and
all the
medkit.
checkpoints. We're gonna have to go around the outside.
Outside the wall.
Or we could just let Robert go.
Cute.
Hey, Tess, you see that shit?
I was there. Hey, how's the east tunnel looking?
It's clear. I just used it. No patrols. And where are you off to?
Gonna pay Robert a visit?
You too?
Who else is looking for him?
Marlene. She's been asking around, trying to find him.
Marlene? What do the Fireflies need with Robert?
You think she'd tell me?
Well, what did you tell her?
The truth. I got no idea where he's hiding.
Good man. Hey, you stay out of trouble, all right? Military's gonna be out in force soon.
Yeah, see you around.
Marlene looking for Robert? What do you make of that?
I don't like it. We better find him before the Fireflies do.
This is us.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Shit's stirring up out there. How we looking over here?
It's been quiet. No signs of military or infected.
That's what I like to hear. Joel, give me a hand with this.
Now what they're doing is they have to go and meet up with a man named Robert. In the years since the death of his daughter, Joel has become a smuggler. These cities have a lot of people in it, and people want stuff from the outside, but they're not allowed to leave.
God, this place reeks. I need to watch what they throw away down here.
And that has birthed an opportunity for people like Joel and Tess here.
Let's grab our gear.
To go outside the wall and procure items from wherever it is they get them, and then sell them to the people on the inside. Unfortunately, this is actually the kind of thing I think is propagating the infection within the city. They go out there, or other people like them go out there.
Ammo.
That'll make your shots count.
They get some stuff, pick up an infection perhaps, bring it back into the city, and it continues to spread. What they have to do is go and meet up with a man named Robert, though, who had stolen, or not stolen, but sold them some guns that they were going to use for whatever purpose.
Yes, ma'am.
And then gone and, well, whatever reason, the deal didn't go through, and Robert tried to have Tess killed.
Come on.
Now these two are going and trying to get some revenge on him, trying to get their guns back, all that kind of stuff. But they couldn't get to the checkpoint because an anti-government faction called the Fireflies had staged an attack against the military while they were trying to get to the checkpoint. So in order to get there, they have to travel outside the wall through these secret tunnels they have here, and then come around the other side into the territory that Robert is in.
That a trick question?
In order to attack him.
Ain't been out here in a while.
It's like we're on a date.
Well, I am the romantic type.
This is largely what has become of the rest of civilization. Anywhere where people aren't surviving, you find cities that are overgrown. With all this foliage, we have grass.
Where's the ladder?
It's got to be around here somewhere.
Bushes, trees growing up all over the place. Buildings are in incredible disrepair. It's been 20 years, and you have to expect that cities wouldn't survive this long. The only reason why cities don't get overgrown now is because there are people wandering around, trampling down any sort of growth, cutting back trees, all that kind of stuff. Okay, we have to find this ladder and set it up against this building. This is how they're going to get around. A lot of the streets were blockaded during the early days of the infection, so in order to get from one place to another, they have to go and climb through a lot of buildings and stuff. Hey, we have a flashlight. Firefly pendant, member of that anti-government faction. take a look at all this stuff, but it really doesn't do you any good. Now, those 20 years have not been kind to this building. There are holes in the walls, the stairs have collapsed.
Still got our guns?
For his sake, he better.
Look, once we get our merchandise back, it should be easy to unload.
Well, speaking of merchandise, when's that next shipment due?
Well, we're meeting Bill next month. More pills, lots of ammo. Supposedly. Hold up. Spores.
Okay. They don't verbally explain this right away, but what the spores are is sort of a fungus spores that have spread out in the air, which are spread by these guys right here.
Body's not that old. Better keep your eyes and ears open.
I should be able to
And
fit through here.
there's this fungus that goes to infect people and turn them into the monsters that we had seen.
Yeah. Damn
in the
ceiling's
first
falling
episode.
apart. Be careful. This way. Easy. Watch it, watch it. Help me. My mask broke. Don't leave me to turn. Please.
No,
What do you want to do?
Now, I guess you could just leave this guy. But the humanitarian thing, I guess, is to shoot him because he has been infected.
Poor bastard.
And it's not a pleasant way to go. And, well, since spores are around, you can assume that some of the infected are around as well. So you gotta be careful around this kind of stuff.
How you want to handle it?
Now, these infected are what are called runners. They're people that have been recently infected. And they're not zombies, they're not undead people. So you can strangle them to death, which is what Joel just did to that one. And we're gonna go and try and gun these other two down. They're eating this guy here. An unfortunate fate.
All right.
Damn.
That's all of them.
Let's hope so.
Let's head back into the city.
You may or may not notice that the audio is dropping out of sync in this video, and I'm trying to repair it, but I'm not perfect about that, so you may still notice it. The reason why the audio isn't synced up properly is because of the format settings that I was using while capturing this video. Now, it actually captures perfectly synced, but the video editing software that I'm using, which is Adobe Premiere, is desyncing the video with the MP4 files that I'm using right now. It's a preset that was intended to be used as playback on Xbox 360s, whereas on my Colossus capture card, if I were to use a different setting, it might work differently. I'm going to try and do that from now on, but everything's a little bit screwed up. Now we're going to be moving into the next, we're going to try and move back into the city from here.
They got infected trying to sneak into the zone.
As much as everyone complains about it, got all these poor bastards wishing they were living on the inside.
In these games, I don't like to ordinarily talk over the characters. But the reality is, in this game, there's a lot of background talking that goes on during this game, during gameplay, so I'm going to have to end up talking over some of it.
Why don't you ask Bill to get you some of them air fresheners?
Hey, if they weren't expired, that'd be a good idea.
It's a bit of a shame that I do end up having to talk over some of these conversations, because a lot of the character details and stuff were revealed during these points where your characters are talking to each other just out during gameplay, as opposed to during cutscenes.
Cover the entrance.
I got it.
Now, they've essentially snuck back into the city here, or the confined parts of the city, once they reach the other side of this building. Apparently there are a number of different points within the city where it's possible to sneak in and out. And I find it a little difficult to believe that the military isn't aware of these different points of exit and entry. Now we've seen a few different... There are a lot of simple puzzles in this game. Now it's not like a Resident Evil style puzzle where you're expected to find this item and insert it into this slot, which unlocks this door and finds this key and all that kind of crap.
Alright.
A lot of them are based around trying to get past obstacles, like this one. Joel jumps down there, picks up a board, hands it to Tess, and then Tess puts it across the pathway, or the ladder that we had found earlier. It does get a little more complicated later on in the game, a little more difficult. You have to figure things out a little bit better, but none of the puzzles are going to be particularly difficult in this game.
Around.
It's clear. Come on.
And we're about to get back into the city, or maybe we already are, I don't know. It's hard to tell. But it's obvious there are not a lot of people living in this area. Oh, there's a barbed wire fence. And we've passed the 20-minute mark, and coming up, we're going to be entering back into the main area of the city, and I'm going to choose this section to end the episode. So, thanks for watching. Come back to the next one, and I'll end this right after our little conversation here.
Hey, little man. Make sure the coast is clear. No soldiers, none of Robert's men, yeah?
You know he's expecting us.
Well, that'll make it more interesting. Good to go. Come on.